Hello, and welcome back to Even More News, the first and only news podcast. My name is Katy Stoll.
Well, hello to you. Welcome to our listeners. Well wishes to everyone involved. Hello, I'm Cody Johnston.
And, of course, Jonathan is also here.
Hi.
There it is.
Ooh.
There's our guy.
All right.
Was that was a spicy one?
I was like, yeah. Ooh, we got a little high out
It's
of
like
there.
a little pause, and I wasn't sure if he was
Yeah.
going to say it. It's like, will he, won't he? He did, folks. He sure did.
You and the word high, you're like Ross and Rachel. Like, oh my God, is it this?
Yeah, will I? Won't that got to? But no, but I was on a break from that word.
Like lobsters, though.
We'll do that for a couple seasons.
Friday, August 8th, National Happiness Happens Day. Smile on August 8th to share in National Happiness Happens Day. On this day, each year, just let it happen. You know, happiness. Because happiness happens. Was that your synopsis, Jonathan, or is that the website?
No, I took it from them. I'm not writing.
That you know?
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
not going to do anything original for National Happiness Happens Day.
This is a weird one. National Happiness. They're all weird.
We're at the beginning of a gerrymandering arms race. This started with Trump and the Trump administration calling up Texas and saying, hey, you should do some redistricting in the middle of the decade to give us more seats. You can carve things up so we can get 5 more seats. And then, unexpectedly, Democrats from other states are saying, well, if you do that, we're going to do it to ours. So Gavin Newsom is going to draw a new map to give Democrats 5 more seats in the House. Voters are going to have to approve it because of something I guess we'll get into. And so now it's just every state. New York wants to do it. J.D. Vance is going to Indiana to try to convince them to just throw out the rules, because who cares about the rules, and do the thing that's kind of ruleless anyway, which is the like gerrymandering of states to give the party in power an advantage. This is, I would say, overall, the concept of it for democracy and everyone's vote getting everyone's vote counting.
yeah,
It's bad
like
for them.
mattering. It's terrible.
it's
it's
real
so
bad.
bad.
It's bad for them.
Yeah, we've talked about this before in other contexts. I mean, I find it obviously just so funny and also gross and annoying that all these Republicans are like, you invented gerrymandering, actually, and we're only now discovering it, and we're going to do it because you do it all the time. It's just so ahistorical and weird, but it is so anti-democratic. It's absurd that it's been going on for so long, and I mean, the hope is that this turns into a situation where everyone's just like, you know what? Never mind. We're not doing this anymore. We're banning it. Although that was proposed by the previous Congress and it was voted down by every single Republican in Congress.
Yeah.
So maybe they actually don't care about this at all.
It's interesting. There is a world where this works against the people in question, whomever is doing the gerrymandering. It doesn't always work out the way you want it to. You can be putting people against each other, splitting up different districts in such a way where 2 people are now in competition with each other that used to be, colleagues. It's also interesting because demographics change over time. So, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, if there's a big sweep in the midterms for Democrats, it could just work not in their favor. But obviously, on its face, it is very anti-democratic. We're essentially trying to break up voting populations and spread them out so that their vote means less because it's buried in a red district or a blue district. It's bad both ways, by the way, And then now we're in a position where, yes, it's an arms race where we have to do this just to try to nullify what they're doing. And it's absurd.
But we do have to.
We have to.
I kind of agree. They're like, it's ball game is the argument. Like they're going to entrench themselves in permanent minority rule. If we are hamstrung by our rules in California and New York by these independent commissions, and none of the red states are, That's it. They have a permanent House majority. And by the way, the census stuff that Trump is still trying to do that he announced this morning, trying to make sure that undocumented people aren't counted in the census, which, again, I'm not sure that would be a huge game changer because Texas and Florida have a lot of undocumented people as well as California. But anyway, it's like pushing things to give yourself even a minute advantage. Apparently, the concept of dummymandering, from what I have read, is not as much of a concern anymore. That is like that they could cut the districts so thin that a wave election on the other side could end up, winning some of those marginal districts. I guess they think they're so good. The math is so good now that they're not really worried about it unless it's like a D+8 election, which maybe every time we think it's going to be one of those, it's not.
This is the one.
And then there's the problem of the Supreme Court, which we have every reason to believe will say that what Texas is doing is legal and what California is doing is not.
Yeah, it's not a great situation because it is just a, on its face, undemocratic practice that they're going to do no matter what. So either you let them and then you lose and lose and lose, or you join the fight. It really does suck. We have tried, we would ban it, but they wouldn't. They don't want to. And so what can you do? They also have this weird thing they keep posting. I keep seeing people post, like specifically like conservative pundits post like the bizarre districts that stretch from like fucking El Paso to Austin, like all the like
madness.
Absurd things. And they're like, well, look what Democrats did to this district or whatever. And every time it's like, no, Republicans specifically did that. They gerrymandered that district that you are using as an example. And they seem to frame it like, look at this district that Democrats gerrymandered to give themselves like a +14 advantage or something. It's like, that's not the point of gerrymandering. It's not to give yourself +14. It's to like whittle away everything so that you have more seats. It's not like, well, we have one really, really strong seat. That's not the point, to make one really, really strong seat. It's to get a bunch of them. So it's just like this absurd sort of thing. It seems like also so many, again, specifically conservative pundits and Republican governors are just finding out about gerrymandering for the first time ever, as if it's a new practice that we just found out about, that also I assume was invented by Barack Hussein Obama, and so we're gonna do it back to them. And it's bizarre, but it's happening.
Because every time I think there's no way they can make a logical argument out of this, they just want to try to bend the rules to help themselves. The argument is that Democrats have done it so much. First, they point to Illinois, which is a gerrymandered state, but they say since they've been so overrepresenting themselves for years, we have to do this to balance out the scales, right? Because they have the majority in every branch of Congress, but they're, of course, the victims still.
Always.
Being outvoted by the woke left. So Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick says on Fox News, we're a red state. We deserve more representation. And like, yep, that's what they believe. They
can't be talking like that. You can't be saying that.
Because we're conservative, we should get more than the people who aren't. Like, what
because
are you talking
That's not what it's about. I think maybe every elected official should have just like a basic crash course class on American politics and how the government works and all of these things before taking office. Maybe they wouldn't be so surprised by our system once they are in office. Some of these districts are absolutely absurd. I think, Jonathan, did you share a map with us the other day?
This is a district that runs from San Antonio to Austin, which is like 80 miles or something. It's like a 90-minute drive to get from one end of the district to the other. And this map was presented on Twitter as if like the Democrats drew it to try to give themselves an advantage. But of course, the Republicans drew it to cram all of the people from Austin and San Antonio in one place. Like the new map would take Dallas and carve it up into like 5 or 6 different areas and then just
based on where people live,
it out into where all the rural people live.
Again, exactly. It's like they're not like, what do you like? Republicans specifically did this so that you'd pack all the Democrats into the one district,
and that's an existing district.
And this is one example of so many being passed around like, oh my God, look what Democrats did to get this one seat. It's like, that's not what happened.
So as of now, a bunch of Democrats in the Texas state legislature have fled the state to attempt to deny quorum to that legislature. They're hiding out in various places around the country, being funded by Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker. Greg Abbott has sent state troopers after them, and I think the FBI, Trump's FBI, has now agreed to like track them down and bring them back. You don't run away from the vote just when it's not going to go your way. But it is, again, like the ball game.
Yeah, you'd never not be in session for Congress if you're trying to like release like some sort of files about like if you had like the president had like a best friend through his life who was a convicted,
for example,
sex trafficker.
Hypothetically,
I obviously like that's absurd, but like if that were to be true, then there would be like all these like collection of files sort of implicating him in those activities. And then maybe Congress would be like, we're not gonna help release those. We're not gonna vote on anything. We're out of here. That, just as a for instance,
as like a hypothetical, if the president had ever had a friend, we know that can't have been possible.
Yeah.
And in theory, if that had happened, and if the entire GOP had decided to avoid that issue by just going to summer break early, for example,
I don't know,
it would be like that. But it's interesting because I hadn't, in that hypothetical, I don't hear anybody threatening federal prosecution. Interesting.
Yeah, anyway, that's an ongoing thing that could determine the future of everything over the next not that many months, right? 15 months.
15 months, yeah.
There's more elections.
Keep an eye on it.
There's always more elections, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Speaking of Congress being out of session, AOC took a break from being out of session in Congress to talk about this Sydney Sweeney controversy. And she had some strong language to share about this on the floor of Congress.
Let's watch some of this. This is real footage of real AOC somehow talking to the House when the House is not in session.
I kind of can't believe this, but it's something.
Yeah, no, this is wild. Yeah. And there's like some text on screen here, so like just ignore
whatever. Don't read.
Sydney Sweeney looks like an Aryan goddess, and the American Eagle Jeans campaign is blatant Nazi propaganda. I mean, fuck. Watching that sultry little temptress squeeze into a Canadian tuxedo, 3 sizes too small, with her bouncy little fun bags on the screen staring at you, piercing through the core of your soul, with those ocean blue eyes that could resurrect the Führer from his grave in Argentina.
Oh, my God.
How did
AOC,
she get away with saying these words in front of Congress?
I mean,
off the rails.
Why would she talk like that? I mean, that's
yeah, why does her voice seem a little disconnected from her mouth?
I didn't even notice. I wasn't even
You didn't notice?
No.
Well, because the words you're hearing are like so startling. You're not even looking at how her mouth is kind of moving freeform around her
AI
face.
Now that I think about it.
Is that?
I was gonna say
AI.
Artificial intelligence.
It's artificial intelligence.
Okay, but like that's like obvious, right? So no one would.
It's obvious. No one would have possibly.
Okay.
Or
no one
talk
would fall
about
for
it.
That.
No one would fall for
national TV. Oh, wait.
I think national TV is being a little generous for News Nation. But
okay, fine.
Well, first just on X the Everything.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. On a program of some sort.
Okay, so disgraced newsman Chris Cuomo, brother of disgraced Governor Andrew Cuomo, saw this video. We assume on his Instagram feed. So I'm very curious what the rest of his feed looks like. And he was, I'll just say it, furious because I can't believe that this real thing that happened in real life really was said and done by AOC, the far left commie who's going to destroy us in favor of Hamas. So yeah, he posted this fucking video like a dumb idiot. And I'm going to read what he posted with the video. By the way, when he posted the video on Twitter, like captions pop up and like the source of the video pops up as well when you post it. And that reads Chat GPT memes plus AI art at Meme Runner GPT. So
pretty clear.
A hint. If you missed the Clonos.ai.io parody 100% made with AI watermark right above her fucking face, then there were other clues as well.
This is like the most transparent AI video I've ever seen. Like up front.
Right? It's not even trying to trick you.
Still can't believe that this happened. So he posted this video and he wrote, "Nothing about Hamas or people burning Jews' cars, but Sweeney Jeans ad deserve time on floor of Congress? What happened to this party? Fight for small business, not for small culture wars." So you first see this and you're like, well, maybe he's joking. Or like maybe he will say that he's joking at least. Maybe he'd at least like, oh, this is embarrassing. It was a joke. I'm just doing satire. I think the typo indicates that maybe he was really, really mad, actually, and it's not a joke. He brought up Hamas for some reason.
What time of day was it?
This was in the evening time.
He'd had a glass of wine or two.
Probably a glass of angry wine.
But it's before his show.
So he had
this
like
was a
4
few
or
hours
5
before he
glasses
had
of
time
wine.
live on television. So
he had time to go back and forth, realize the mistake, and then write about it.
Yeah, this is him prepping for the show.
Yes. I'm sorry. Like he does this all the time. He just takes these. It's very Bill Maher in this way. He sort of takes whatever and talks about Hamas, or like he takes like whatever happens. It's like the woke is the problem. He just sort of like takes words and puts them together to say the thing that he really is mad about. You're saying nothing about Hamas or people burning Jews' cars is the beginning of the tweet. Then later, fight for small business, not for small culture wars. What? Small business? You said Hamas. What are you talking about?
Well, there's things you're allowed to talk about on the floor of the House. 1, Hamas, 2, small businesses. And Sydney Sweeney is something that no politician should be weighing into. So, like, his heart's in the right place.
Except
He
for
wants
Donald
to criticize.
Trump.
He wants to criticize politicians who would get dragged into culture war nonsense, such as. I'm trying to think of Democratic ones specifically. I can't come up with any.
Okay, that's okay. There's another party.
Well,
There's
you're
a
on the
second party.
spot.
You can just pick the other party. Just talk about the other party.
Yeah. That's easy because J.D. Vance has talked about this and the White House has tweeted about this and it's been on Fox News every day for like a week now.
The president.
I think Media Matters did an analysis that they've mentioned Sydney Sweeney some 700, 800 times in the last week, and Epstein 53 or something like that.
That's much easier for them to talk about Sydney Sweeney than Epstein. And then what happens next, however? Did someone correct him? Did AOC specifically correct him?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Publicly?
I'm sorry. Just how fucking embarrassing. Like already, this is so shameful. That this happened. You're on TV, man. You do the news. You didn't even. We'll get to his excuses. I'm still thinking about it. What did AOC say?
AOC replied to him, said, "This is a deep fake, dude. Please use your critical thinking skills. At this point, you're just reposting Facebook memes and calling it journalism." And then,
very kind, I will say. She could have gone so much harder on the most embarrassing thing this man's ever done. Like, restraint. Congratulations, AOC, on the restraint you showed, but with this reply.
And so Chris Cuomo deletes the original tweet and then posts a new tweet that doesn't like tag AOC and it doesn't quote tweet AOC, but it's
so
definitely
weird.
Like a reply to AOC. This is like how
it's like she posts like a Facebook status, but it's like it should have been an email or something.
And it's like fine for not everyone to know how Twitter works at this point, but you are not that old, and this is what you do.
It's your job, man. It's your job.
Yeah, so he deletes it, and it's just a standalone tweet saying, "You are correct. That was a deep fake, but it really does sound like you. Thank you for correcting. But now to the central claim. Show me you calling on Hamas to surrender or addressing the bombing of a car in St. Louis belonging to the IDF American soldier, dude."
It's blowing me away how some people are you're so out of touch with how people feel about Israel. So out of touch with this doesn't land. This doesn't land for any of us. You are in the toilet tanking in terms of approval ratings around our involvement in Israel. And you're sitting here saying, why hasn't she condemned Hamas still?
Also,
what the fuck?
I looked into this because...
Thank you.
And he might be doing a semantic thing because obviously she's condemned Hamas many times. I guess his thing is, well, you haven't called on Hamas to unilaterally surrender to Israel. And her position is probably like, no, we need a ceasefire. Right? Like that, it's just, that's not her position. But he's like, why haven't you done this obvious thing that everyone's doing? But I think there's a difference if that's what he's doing. If he's just saying, why have you not condemned Hamas? She's definitely done that.
Yes,
You're an
she
idiot.
has. Yes, she
Right.
has.
I mean, I know I'm being flippant with my phrasing, but it's so weird to me. It's such a bizarre, fabricated outrage. It's obviously a fake video. You're like, why are you talking about this instead of calling for the ceasefire, releasing of the hostages? It's like, what are you talking about, man? This is fucking fake.
Because also, like, it's like, now to the central claim. Why aren't you doing this? The central claim was that she's talking about Sydney Sweeney ads in Congress instead of Hamas. So what are you talking about?
Yeah. No, everyone, like, if your tweet was on the SATs and it said, what's the central claim of this tweet? It'd be like, oh, Cuomo's upset that she said fun bags on the
I'm talking about Sydney Sweeney
floor.
instead of what he wants her to talk about.
But it's probably the first time that's ever happened. Fun bags on the...
And fuck. Right,
No, I'm sure. Okay, let's watch
real quick. Sorry, before we even start watching, I have to address the text on screen. Developing story. Chris responds to AOC. Developing story. You invented this whole cloth. This is because of your stupid fucking tweet where you believed a deep fake that had AI on her face. Developing story.
I like how the show and News Nation are in brackets, like stylistically.
Yeah.
That's how...
Seek.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, sick. Seek. Okay.
You listening? I was wrong. I was tweeting today and saw a clip of AOC saying that Sydney Sweeney ad was racist. And so I replied to it and I said, why do you care about this and ignore what matters most?
Sorry, pause it. So I saw a fake clip. So I was watching this clip, he says, and then so I replied to it. No, you didn't. You posted it on your Twitter feed to everybody and asked AOC it. It's not replying to the Instagram. Like, you didn't like leave a comment. And it's nitpicky, but language is important. He's just like trying to weasel out of this. Anyway.
AOC tweeted back and said, dude, that's a deep fake, that Sydney Sweeney ad. You suck, in so many words. And she was right. They got me. AI. It was really good, and it did seem like something she would say. But it wasn't her.
No, it wasn't.
Stop it.
It wasn't good. It was bad.
Pause.
It was bad AI.
Pause. It was bad. It was a bad job. It didn't look like she was speaking. It didn't sound like her if you listened to it for about 5 seconds. It said AI parody 100%, a centimeter above her face. And
she talked like when Howard Stern used to cut up audiobooks. She's like, I mean, fuck. Like,
exactly.
That's not how people... That's not how people talk.
Not how people talk. And also, like, his claim is also like, well, it sounded like something she would say. No, it doesn't.
It doesn't at all.
Doesn't. You just have this weird, like, everything woke is bad and everything I don't like is woke, and it's all the same stuff, and it's just like this so out of touch, skewed way of looking at anything.
Everything some random leftist account on Twitter says is representative of what everyone in the Democratic Party does say, so they have to be accountable for it. And of course, that does not apply to the Republicans.
So I thanked AOC for correcting me. But I then reminded her, she ignored the part of the tweet that mattered, okay? Not Sweeney, which really should have never been a thing, let's be honest.
And it wasn't a thing. It wasn't
a popular Democrat in the country, powerful, reportedly ignore what I asked about calling on Hamas to surrender to end the war they started. She has never said that I could find. Think about that. She also ignored my question about saying nothing about the American IDF soldier who returned home only to have his car firebombed in America by anti-Semites.
Because you shared a fake clip of her. It's AI, you stupid asshole.
Well, it's also not in her district. I mean, you know, it's a lot of times members of Congress feel compelled to speak out about acts of violence or acts of violence that, you know, hate crimes and stuff. But I don't think every member of Congress releases a statement for every hate crime.
It's a manufactured outrage, in my opinion. I think is the point of like, this is his way in to put a target on AOC and talk about what he wants to talk about. Well, ask that about anybody. in general, ask that about the media. Why aren't you covering this? But to pretend like AOC should have, like she really dropped the ball when she didn't mention a story amongst a lot of terrible stories happening is weird framing.
It's so embarrassing for him, and he hasn't really admitted to that, and he's pivoted to this weird thing of like, why aren't you talking about the thing that I want you to talk about? He even says in that clip that she doesn't condemn Hamas, she doesn't talk about Hamas, at least not all the time. Okay, that's what do you want her to talk about all the time? He talks about like the number of bills she's introduced. Well, are you going to do that for every member of Congress? Because she's co-sponsored more bills than a lot of other people in Congress. So what is your point? And his point is, I'm so embarrassed that I shared this obvious AI video, but I'm a journalist. He's a journalist.
It's time for cinema, the summer of. We're technically only halfway through summer calendar-wise, but if you're a kid who has to go back to school, oof, sorry, your summer's basically donezo. Let's face it, in a few weeks, you're going to be spending most of your free time having ChatGPT do your math homework poorly. Better cram in all those summer action movies on Pluto TV while you still can. Movies like Gladiator, Beverly Hills Cop, Stealth, I Will Hunt You for Sport, Chapstick the Movie, Four Brothers, Battlefield Smurf, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, Travis Kelce's Grammar starring Kelsey Grammer, Radiator Springs Racers, the real race that the ride based on the movie Cars was based on, Star Trek, R.L. Stein's The Floofenings, Muppets with Knives, Drop Dud Fud, and Good Burger. Bring the action with you and stream for free on all your favorite devices. Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
Okay, let's talk about ICE some more.
Yeah, that was fun. Now it's not.
Yeah,
let's we're just like
we just go back and
stuff.
forth.
Exactly.
And if you stick
that
out
wasn't
through the
even
fun
that
stuff.
fun.
I know.
It wasn't even
frustrating.
that fun, to be honest. Just annoying.
Okay. Every time this podcast sucks. Let's
fucking I hate this shit.
No. What did you enjoy that? God, why are you listening to
That
this?
fun bit was boring as hell.
Yeah,
oh my
it
It
god.
wasn't
wasn't
that fun thing we
boring.
did.
It's just so frustrating.
I know.
We had
I
fun
know.
talking about
I
it.
know what you mean.
I know. Okay. Let's talk about ICE. We released an episode about all the lies ICE tells a couple days ago. And they've told a bunch more, or
Oh, really?
at least they've done a bunch of stuff that's looking not great just this week. It looks like they might be having trouble recruiting people, even with all this money they've brought in through the OBBBA.
Why are they posting about it constantly? Are they constantly posting, begging people to sign up for ICE?
Yeah, and offering a lot of different kinds of perks. First of all, the Department of Homeland Security says it is removing its age limits for ICE agents, which Tom Homan didn't seem to know about on Wednesday when he was asked about it. Very strange.
Well,
clip.
he's got a fake job, so why would he
Yeah.
know a real answer to a real question?
Probationary FEMA employees this week got an email saying they either can join ICE or be fired. So
Wait,
people
why?
who signed up to, help people recover from disasters now have
That's
to.
absurd.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah, I want
Go
to just highlight that for a little later. This idea that like, oh yeah, you work at FEMA, well surely you can just work at ICE now too. That relationship I think is really, really interesting, how they're trying to frame ICE.
The CBP is asking retired Border Patrol agents to come out of retirement. They're asking former federal attorneys to come back and defend ICE in court. They all received a return to mission letter. All of these people, by the way, if they come back, are eligible for bonuses of at least $10,000 and up to $50,000, depending. When a lot of I think the lawyers got an email on August 3rd or 4th that said if you sign up again by August 6th, you can get another $10,000. So just like it's just spinning the wheel on a game show now. And also no college degree required, which they are promoting heavily on the internet. Just so everyone out there knows, you don't have to have a college degree to work for ICE. In fact,
they even respond to you if you ask them on Twitter. They're like, you're like, well, can I join? And if I want to like bust down doors and like fucking get them, and they'll respond on their official account like, yep, no degree required. And then that person will respond back and be like, awesome, I can't wait to kick down the doors and get them. It's bleak.
Do you need to have graduated high school?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Pretty sure you need to have graduated high school, but they might
check in a week, you know.
Yeah, for the right person.
We'll
they also they announced and then they quickly took back an offer of cash bonuses for ICE agents who are able to secure swift deportations.
That is so chilling.
Yeah, it was like added to a list of things that they'd get cash bonuses if you're able to get like to deport people really fast. And then after a few hours, they said, no, we're not doing that. And we never were. But it came out like 4 hours later. The agency like sent an email following up on the previous email that said, please disregard.
Are we becoming desensitized to how clownish this administration is? I mean, just the amount of rollbacks, walkbacks. It's like, now, we're going to rehire all the people we fired. Oh, ignore that email I sent full of typos. They just fucking say whatever they want and then walk it back. It's constant. It's every day. Oh, this tariff's happening. This is not. Whatever. The Mad Men sent something that counteracts our stance. So now we're changing our stance. It's just impossible.
No disaster relief if you support BDS, and then...
oh, wait, never mind.
And then,
3 hours later or something like that. Yeah.
But they said later, 3 hours later, no, we're not doing that. But we reserve the right to, maybe.
Exactly. That's these weird, like, little trial balloon errors.
Anything bad might happen to you, even if it's not actively happening. It's like we're in this, it's like a panopticon, really, where they could get you at any minute for something, but probably not.
Probably not, but we can.
They're stretched really thin.
Yeah.
They're even recruiting Dean Cain, former Superman actor from the 90s, to be in ICE. This is actually kind of funny because I just saw headlines. Dean Cain joining ICE. He put a video on X.
No age limits.
Where he's like, hey, you guys should know that I'm like a deputy sheriff, volunteer, law enforcement officer, and you need to join up with ICE to help blah, blah, blah. He was just trying to encourage people to join ICE, but he wasn't saying that he himself was a part of ICE. But then Fox News saw that video and started reporting Dean Cain's all over ICE and is joining ICE. So then he did called up Tom Homan. I'm sure they had a really great conversation. And then Dean Cain was on Jesse Waters on Wednesday night saying, this is your fault, but I'm joining up. You know, I don't think they'll put me in the field or anything, but I'll do whatever they need me to do to get the job done.
Oh, you mean publicity? You'll do anything they need you to do?
It's kind of embarrassing. Can we watch the first like 15 seconds of this clip on Jesse Waters just to see, like, I do think Waters might be having fun with him a little bit.
Man himself, Dean Cain, joins me now. All right, so this is kind of a big deal for you and your career. What are you going to be doing at ICE?
Oh, man.
Well, let me go back a minute here, Jesse. This is all your fault, by the way.
Yeah?
I'll explain why. Because I put out a recruitment video yesterday. I'm actually a deputy sheriff, a sworn deputy sheriff, and a reserve police officer. I wasn't part of ICE. But once I put that out there and you put a little blurb on your show, it went crazy. So now I've spoken with some officials over at ICE, and I will be sworn in as an ICE agent ASAP.
And just the first part of that clip kind of startled me when Jesse, he may have just not known how he was going to introduce the segment, but he says, well, this is a big deal for you and your career.
Fascinating.
That's not nice.
No, it's insulting.
He's just so smarmy all the time.
Right. Maybe this is just who he is, and he's trying to be nice.
I think
he because of his relationship with certain people on television, like Jessica Tarlov, and the rapport, I guess they have, I think he thinks that if he's a piece of shit to anybody, it's fun and games. And his just mode is like, I'm going to kind of insult you and like point out that I think you're a stupid idiot or whatever, but like it's fun when we do it on our show, so I can do it to anybody or something. It's just like his mode, it seems.
Yeah. I just found that very, very interesting. Also, that Fox News did that annoying red and blue text on their video that they put online. I didn't like that either.
I mentioned the FEMA thing, and I wanted to highlight something that Dean Cain said on his social media post, which was not him joining ICE, but him saying that you should join ICE.
Hey everybody, Dean Cain here. And for those who don't know, I am a sworn law enforcement officer as well as being a filmmaker. I felt it was important to join with our first responders to help secure the safety of all Americans, not just talk about it. So I joined up.
And referring to ICE as first responders, I think, is really, really disgusting and wrong-headed, and does conflate this sort of like, yeah, if you're a FEMA employee or somebody who's like there to help people, that's what we view as first responders. When there's like a disaster or a crisis and people are there to help people right away. That's not ICE. That's not like people rounding others up and tossing people into vans and deporting them. That's not first responders. And I just found that very interesting and gross.
I mean, it's a lie. Well, it's how
they need to frame themselves to justify what they're doing.
Because that would make it so that they're responding to a crisis,
a disaster, exactly.
Emergency, a disaster, a natural disaster, even. No, a FEMA couldn't be further from what ICE is. And it is bizarre, but that's, again, it's semantics. It's a language game to try. It just seeps into our collective consciousness. You say a talking point enough, then that's what people start to say. And then all of a sudden it becomes true. Invasion,
military-aged men, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
But I would urge people to think about, does it go both ways? Like, okay, so if you're FEMA, can be taken over to ICE. Can your ICE agents go over to FEMA? Are those ICE agents trained in any sort of an emergency response situation?
You can't toss a hurricane.
That's not who I want to come and help me during a national disaster.
Well, it's going to be hard for them to do that from The Hague. You know, we'd have to let them out of The Hague to go.
And we're not doing that.
I mean, this is what everyone said was going to happen when you gave ICE billions more dollars. It's scary because they can get a lot more people and widen their operations, but it's also very, very difficult to increase the staffing of a law enforcement agency and try to uphold any kinds of standards. So I will imagine that the age and the education is only going to be the first kind of standards to go away. I mean, we're going to have, then it's going to be convictions are okay, and gun convictions are okay, and drug convictions are okay, and maybe preferred.
Oh yeah, no background checks, conviction, no training.
Like it is,
you don't need training anymore.
It's scary in terms of like who's going to be joining ICE these days, but it's also going to lead to a ton of corruption because there's a ton of money there, and who's doing the vetting, who's bringing everyone in. We talked about this segment they did on the Majority Report yesterday where Sam Cedar brought up that the cash bonuses are going to entice people in who maybe aren't totally sold on the mission and are either going to get quickly disillusioned or might start leaking to the press. Not that they're going to go in intending to bring it down from the inside, just that they're unemployed, as many more people will be over the next year. They're going to be enticed by the really good pay. You can make a lot of money as an ICE agent. And it's like 3 weeks on, 1 off, and all you have to do is kind of sell your soul and do some pretty horrible things. We're going to hear some stories about people who are not prepared for what kind of shit they're expected to do.
Yeah, I do agree with you on that. And Sam, whether or not someone does, it's hard to imagine somebody joining just to trying to expose, because you're going to have to do something pretty horrific and against your values. But I do think you are going to entice people that are just showing up for a job and then be confronted with the reality of what that job is.
Yeah, it's just depressing. Related, I guess, to lowering the age for being an ICE agent. other folks out there, including Janine Pirro, are calling to lower the age of responsibility to 14 in various cases, which I find interesting given that hypothetical relationship we talked about with President and his friend.
Totally hypothetical.
Where he might have had relationships with
with people
15, 16-year-olds.
Not 12, though.
Yeah.
He said not 12.
No, 12
not
would
12.
be the...
That's still a child. But 14, I think, is pretty adult.
And this is, I don't know where it's leading, but I have seen more people in Trump's orbit talk about that, which I find a little odd.
Terrifying?
Yes, also. But that was all in relation specifically to this big balls story that I guess we could talk about.
My wife is very well read up on the news. She knows what's going on. She knows all the cases, all the constitutional violations. But as I've talked about on the show before, occasionally I go up to her and I say, would you like to hear me say some words? And she goes, what words? What are you talking about? And I said, well, it looks like Big Balls was beaten up by a couple of 15-year-olds in D.C. and now the city's going to be federalized by Trump. And she's like, what? And I say, Big Balls, the Doge worker whose grandfather was a murdered KGB agent. Do I have these details right? So let me try and go through this really quickly because it's the end of the show.
Did she then go, yes, Big Balls of Doge fame?
I was going to say, did she then walk out of the room? Or
She was just like, oh, honey, and left.
She's like, what are you saying to me? I don't want to hear these things. I can't hear these things. And I said, I respect that. Greatly. You want to know the news. You don't want to know this shit.
Yeah.
This started on Tuesday. Well, it started before this, but the first we heard about it was on Tuesday when Donald Trump sent out this huge Truth Social post talking about how crime in D.C. is out of control. 14, 15, and 16-year-olds are randomly attacking, mugging, maiming, and shooting innocent citizens. He says, if this continues, I'm going to exert my powers and federalize this city, which is obviously the big headline. But within this post were a couple of sections where he seemed to be talking about something else specifically. He says the most recent victim was beaten mercilessly by local thugs, and he says this incredible young man would not have had to go through the horrors of violent crime. But he doesn't specify, and he shares a photo of a kid who does look beat up, sitting on the ground with his shirt off with blood on him. Who is this? What's going on? Nobody seems to know. Then within an hour, Elon Musk posts an image of Trump's post and says, a few days ago, a gang of about a dozen young men tried to assault a woman in her car at night in D.C. A Doge team member saw what was happening, ran to defend her, and was severely beaten to the point of concussion, but he saved her. It is time to federalize D.C. Elon and Trump are talking again because they're the only two people who were talking about this thing that happened. I looked while this was going on for local news stories. There was nothing. And you'd think something like that, the DC local news is all over it. Yeah. All over that, right? So within a few hours, we do finally get the details. There's a police report confirming that one of the victims in the event was a 19-year-old former Doge worker, Edward Big Balls Korestein. And what the police report says
I didn't realize Big Balls was his official middle name.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Well, his official middle name is in quotes as well. So Elon got some details wrong, as he is wont to do. According to the police report, Korestein and his girlfriend were standing by their car. They're approached by approximately 10 juveniles who surround them and say, we're going to take the car. And Korestein apparently pushes his girlfriend into the car to shield her, and then all the suspects come and start beating him up.
Okay, so it wasn't him jumping into a random woman's defense about to be assaulted or whatever?
No, that was not happening.
Ever a part of it, okay.
He still, according to this, tried to protect her and effectively did, but he was not a good Samaritan running out of nowhere to stop a woman from being assaulted. While this is happening, cops show up because there are already cops in D.C. and they are already driving around in the middle of the night, stumbling upon things like this that might happen. They intervene. All the kids run away. They get two suspects, a 15-year-old boy and a 15-year-old girl.
What is this gang of kids?
Well, listen, and I'm not saying this isn't true or that Corristine was lying. We really don't know all the details, but it is odd that 10 teenagers would go up to one car and say, we're carjacking this one car, the 10 of us.
Yeah.
That's
what are you going to do? Go on this joyride, all 10 of us?
Yeah, that's strange.
It
but
feels
at
like
any
there's
rate,
some information missing here. He obviously got beat up. Is that cause for federalizing a city?
Well, no, because as we all know, crime is down. Crime in DC is specifically down this year from last year, and it was down last year from the year before. So obviously, this is another situation where one incident is being used to do a whole awful illegal thing. I would say similar to the Lake and Riley Act. One horrible thing was used to demonize an entire group, and now those people can be...
A horrible thing that was stopped by the cops.
Yes, this is this incident, it's unclear how a federalized National Guard in the streets kind of force would have broken this up any sooner than the two officers that were going by.
But it's their excuse. Judge Janine is in there, and she's gonna clean up DC. She just said that about 20 minutes ago. She also was on the news recently, I guess on her interviewed by her old boss or whatever, talking about how when she started her job, she's like, all the prosecutors are gone. There's like this office is in disarray. I'm down like 90 prosecutors or something. Well, Doge fired them, and you praised them for that. You praised them when they fired all the prosecutors working on the January 6th stuff. That's where they went, ma'am. It's just a whole... I hate all these people. I don't trust them at all. They're so frustrating.
Yeah, she said on Fox News, like, if you want a job in the U.S. Attorney's Office for D.C., call me. Like,
it's so...
You don't need to have a college degree. $50,000 signing bonuses. If you're retired, come on back, baby.
Yeah, if you're... Edward Big Balls can probably start prosecuting cases pretty soon.
Or join ICE, whichever one he wants.
The world's his oyster.
It's so funny though. Like, well, we fired everybody in the first 6 months, and so the second 6 months, we'll just beg everybody to come work for us.
I mean, this is,
and you won't be fired. We won't do that again. Like,
it is again what I was saying: the utter chaos of this administration across the board. Oh no, we're going to hire back people. Oh, turns out we need people at the National Weather Service. Yes, man, you
thought
do.
That? Who would have
thought that? All right, guys, I think
Dude.
we've done it.
Oh, can we show this chart where even though crime has been consistently going down for 3 decades, Americans consistently think that crime is on the rise?
Yeah.
At least 60% of Americans for the last 25 years have thought crime is going up.
Yeah, well, facts don't care about your feelings, or feelings don't care about your facts. How about that? I feel, based on what people have told me, people I don't know and shouldn't trust have told me, that I should be very afraid. So I'm going to go with that. And I don't give a fuck about your chart, Jonathan.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
I'm afraid of all big cities because the TV told me to be.
So mad
and
about
the president
my chart.
told me to be. So, and the vice president told me to even be afraid of small towns because they're gonna eat your pets, folks.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, we
People
got
are
to
always
crack
eating
that
my
open.
pets.
No one else is talking about that right now. They should bring that back to get away from Epstein.
It's right there.
They really should.
Speaking of Epstein, we're done with the show. But like a week ago, Vance was on doing an interview, and he was like, "Yeah, during like break, when I'm not, getting the Army Corps of Engineers to raise the water level of a river so I can have a little big boy birthday
So I can
party.
float down it.
When I'm not doing that, I'm really going to look into this alien stuff because that's what I'm really, really interested in." And then yesterday, Tulsi Gabbard was also asked about aliens. She's like, "Well, we're going to look into it. It's all just stupid distraction stuff. It's so funny. It's so transparent how much they're like, you know what actually is the most important thing is the alien question."
What do you mean look into it? Like, just type it on the computer that has all the files. Or, I mean, I guess the deep state could have destroyed or hidden all the files. I guess, is that what we're saying?
Well, they have another secret room with burn bags with all the alien stuff in. So
Honestly,
you need to find all the secret rooms. Come on.
Add it to whatever you're going to charge Obama with. It's got to be his fault, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is
Yeah,
a bit,
exactly.
This stinks of an Obama cover-up.
Aliens and pet eating. Thanks a lot, Barack Hussein Obama.
That secret room burn bag thing didn't really stick, did it?
No. But the information that we got from those many burn bags with like one sentence hidden in there that like is the smoking gun, they're still trying. We're going to dig into it in the future.
Yeah, I'd like to, on my time off, dig into that.
Great. Yeah.
Okay,
That's what
whatever
I'm
you
gonna
want to do with your time off.
That,
Jonathan.
aliens, whatever it is you want.
Taking a vacation, look into the aliens in the burn bags.
Yeah, exactly. They're still working. They're still working the Obama treason angle, and they're so close. They're so close.
Watch this space. We'll
Watch
be covering
this
that.
space.
All right. Speaking of time off, the show is over. We've arrived at the end of the show. Now someone else is gonna go work on it. Nick is gonna go work on it. But we're gonna be done.
We're done for now.
And you're gonna listen to it tomorrow or Saturday.
Which is today.
Check it out
for you.
And lots of
Make sure all is
hand
good.
movements to make sure it's clear. All right. We're out of here. Have a great weekend. And don't you forget.
Okay.
We love you very much.
Okay. Much.